philosophy. What new insight has philosophy firmly established within society? Appeal to reason and experience, elevating human reason and individual experience. What does the conceptual framework of reason and experience have to offer us? Appeal to reason. In the 1600s, human reason was elevated to a position of highest authority. Philosophical interest shifted radically from the supernatural to the natural. Philosophers used deductive reasoning to gain knowledge, with mathematics as their model. They believed that, just as mathematics starts from axioms, philosophic thought could start from axioms that are native to reason and are true independently of experience. Appeal to experience. During the 1700s, epistemology rather than metaphysics became important. The only things we can know are phenomena, experience. All we can reach is probability, not truth. We can have no absolute or certain knowledge from the World Book Encyclopedia, page 350. There's so much here, it is overwhelming. As we move along through the progression of our philosophical development, it becomes apparent we are moving in two directions. Reason tells us we should be looking outward towards the heavens, towards the outer edge of the universe, to the boundary of the universe itself, and then through the edge into what lies beyond. Metaphysics, with the aid of reason and science, is the means of doing so. Experience tells us we should be looking inward towards the mind, towards the inner edge of our awareness, and then through the edge into what lies beyond. Epistemology, with the aid of experience and faith, is the means of doing so. And just what are reason and epistemology, and how are they different? Reason orients around understanding what we see. In essence, it works outside of faith and within the realm of the concrete, the observable, the sphere of science. Epistemology orients around understanding what we believe. In essence, it works inside faith and within the realm of the abstract, the conjectural, the sphere of religion. What does the conceptual framework of reason imply about the universe within which we live? Philosophical thought could start from axioms that are native to reason and are true independently of experience. You are number one, you exist. Science then moves to the left on the number line, to the left of the number one, you, and begins the process of dissection. You are made up of organ systems, which are made up of organs, which are made up of cellular tissues, which are made up of cellular particles, which are made up of molecular particles, which are made up of atomic particles, which are made up of subatomic particles, which are made up of, but it all starts with you. Science acknowledges existence. Science then moves to the right on the number line, to the right of the number one, you, and begins the process of building. You are part of an ecosystem, which is part of a planetary system, which is part of a star system, which is part of a galactic system, which is part of a universe, which is part of. But it all starts with you. Science acknowledges existence. There is no denying that science is moving in these directions. Science appears adamant to find what lies beyond our physical universe. Reason gives science the conviction of our being able to continue the progression of increasing size well beyond the universe and into the abstraction that lies beyond. But just as science finds it reasonable to reach beyond the physical boundaries of our universe and into the realm of what religions call a causative force, God, ultimate, absolute, or abstraction, it finds it unreasonable to search beyond the physical boundaries of our inner selves and into the realm of what religions call a soul, an apparent abstraction. The apparent progression of increasing size would seem to be the universe is a part of a larger system, an abstraction, what religions call God, the causative force. The causative force, abstraction, is part of a larger system. The reason supports the concept of panentheism. For panentheism simply states that the universe is inside the causative force abstraction. Panentheism goes no further and makes no other claim about the causative force. The apparent progression of decreasing size would seem to be you can be reduced down to the smallest basic part that goes beyond physical smallness and into the soul abstraction, your awareness. And so it would seem the universe is simply a barrier between the two, intended to keep the two apart in order to provide the soul free will. Symbiotic panentheism. How do the concepts of experience reinforce the concept of panentheism? The only things we can know are phenomena, experience. All we can reach is probability, not truth. Experiencing is an abstract concept. We sense what is around ourselves, but the experience itself is not concrete. While there is no denying, pain appears to be very real, but if we had no awareness of pain, we would never feel it. We see the beauty of the sunset and sunrise, but if we had no awareness, we would never experience its beauty. Reason tells us all physical events occur regardless of whether we're there to experience them or not. Experience, on the other hand, implies physical events do not occur. If we were not here to experience them, they would not exist for us. They would exist to someone else, you say, but would they? This would only be true if there was other awareness to experience the events. If there was no awareness, would reality exist? Awareness appears to be the key. If there were no pieces of awareness experiencing, could there be total awareness? And if not, would there be such a concept as causation or a causative force? What exists, exists, even if the causative force of what exists has no awareness of existence. If that is the case, another question arises. If a causative force, or God, has no awareness, it is able to create existence, or is it? Could an unaware causative force create an abstract concept such as awareness? Such thinking quickly leads to the idea of awareness existing and being composed of pieces of awareness. In short, once again, panentheism jumps into the lead. Put simply, it would appear philosophy is moving into the realm of individual awareness, abstraction, what religions call the soul. But if there is such a thing as the soul, since we can never know truth, we must construct truths to the best of our ability based upon the knowledge we have. This knowledge falls into two realms, the concrete and the abstract. The inability to know truth leads us to acknowledge we must accept both faith, what we believe, and observation, what we see. We have only logic, what we reason, to put the two together. We cannot reject either religion or science, for observation is the sensing of the concrete, which could in fact be the illusionary, while faith is the sensing of the abstract, which could in fact be the concrete. Since we do not know, and most likely never will know, which is which, we have little choice but to work with both in our efforts to create a unified view. What does reason reinforce about significance of existence, life? Everything seems to change, but does it? Perhaps the significance of life is what remains constant. Perhaps it is here we will find stability. Things appear complicated. That is because they are complicated. We have moved forward with all our perceptions. Our perception of the universe is based upon what we observe. Our knowledge is advancing so rapidly, we are doubling the total human store of knowledge every 7 to 10 years. That means 7 to 10 years from now, we as a species will know twice as much as we know now. And an additional 7 to 10 years, that will double again. This means we will know 4 times as much as we know now in 14 to 20 years. This process does not become really understandable until we project this over a lifetime. Using the conservative figure of doubling our knowledge every 10 years. What we reasonably know of our concrete universe will increase by 512 times from the time of one's birth to the approximate time of one's death. Amazing, actually incomprehensible. Yet, if we have a significance in life, it is most probably the same now as when life began. All this increase in knowledge implies change, change, change. There is no comfort there. The only place we may be able to find stability and comfort is in significance. The purpose for life may be the only constant. Is it any wonder a unified view is so important?